Sai Baba had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a party, E-I-E-I-O. With a poodle party here and a poodle party there, here a party, there a party, everywhere a poodle party. Oh, Sai Baba had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Isn't that good? Huh? One more. Oh, we've had a wonderful time. Just wonderful. We're letting you out of school at 8:30. Aren't you lucky? 30 minutes early.
I had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. When they're ready here and they're ready there, every place is ready.
Now you know why Swami doesn't let him sing. Do you know our kids forbade him to sing? They said, Dad, you were all tone deaf because you sang to us as children. Whatever you do, don't sing to our children. Anyway, it's sad to say goodbye. We've made such lovely friends and feel all of your love in your hearts. We're all struggling. We're all trying. Work hard at your relationships. I hope this gives you a little more substance and a little more enthusiasm to go home and work with each other. And for the new people who are not married, you have got a jump start. You know that when you get married, it will be a honeymoon period. Make the most of it. And then you will know that your egos and everything are going to get in the way and you're going to start hurting each other. And the hurt's going to build up and you're going to have a crisis. And those are the games you play. And the challenge is what you do with the problems. That's the challenge. And the end result is love. And if you're in a situation where it can't work, and there are dilemmas sometimes that it can't work. One person wants to work and the other one don't. You write him a letter and mail it. And another thing I found out in our relationship, that if I didn't give any negativity to my spouse, because when you give negativity each other, I'd say it was his fault. He'd say it was my fault. Now, if he says it's my fault, then he doesn't have to look at his fault. If I say it's his fault, then I don't have to look at my fault. When I stopped giving negativity in our relationship, or if I did, I'd say I'm sorry right away. What does Swami say? When you don't give any negativity back, it goes back to the sender. The best way to get a spouse to look at themselves is for you to stay sweet, loving, and give no negativity, because then they have nobody to blame. I had nobody to blame. Eventually, you have to look at yourself. And that's where the change comes. Like Swami, he keeps giving us love, even though we make mistakes. If you can keep giving your spouse love, that love will transform the other individual. And it works. It really works. We all know that. We've seen what he's done. Yes, Sai Ram, Robert says. Sai Ram, God bless.
How sad. You're so tired. A loud applause, please. They must hear this in the USA. I don't think we can thank them enough. And I tell you, I'm going to miss them very much. We've had this chance to be with them for the whole week. And many of us heard them, I think, in many various other centers. I'm sure you're going to miss them. Yeah. But then everything has to come to an end, right? And
We got emails, don't forget. We always get emails.
okay. You gave their...
Yeah, I want to give my email.
Their emails will be written, so you could always contact them. Now, since this is a marriage workshop and you need both the male and the female to be involved in marriage, so last week we called one person to come forward and thank both of you on behalf of the participants. But today we have two persons, one from here and one from there. So, as normally we say, ladies first. We'll call Gayatri to come forward and thank you on behalf of this part. Okay. Thank you.
The kind girl.
Sairam, dear uncles and aunties, my brothers and sisters. Just a short note of appreciation to both Brother Robert and Sister Rita. Thank you very much for spending your entire week, of course, but in particular today, thank you very much for having this workshop. I think there are many of us here who are either contemplating marriage or have been doubtful about stepping into marriage, and there's a variety of people here, all with their own issues. I believe you've addressed the various issues, and thank you very much for having this workshop. And my biggest thanks to Swami for bringing the both of you here, for including Malaysia in your world tour. Thank you very much for coming by. And if all of us could put our hands together and thank them.
Thank you. It was short and sweet. But now I'm getting a little worried. In the next 1 year, we'll receive a lot of wedding cards. So we have to slot all these weddings within our SAI activity schedules. And of course, you know, when wedding card comes, you also have to take something out of the pocket. So save up, please. Okay. Now I'll call upon Brother Mahindran. He's VP, Vice President for Service, to come and say thanks on behalf of this. Okay, brother?
The all-around guy.
Yes.
Saram, on behalf of the council, we'd like to thank again, as what Gayatri said. Just one note, yesterday I was Dr. Vijay's clinic for some treatment, and I saw one gentleman outside waiting to see Dr. Vijay, and asked he attended last Saturday and Sunday this workshop. I asked him, how's the session? He said, fantastic, it's really working. I said, they mentioned, husband and wife mentioned a lot of things. Tell me what is interesting and what is working. He said the contract is working very well. Because they actually asked us to sign a contract with our children, what to do and what is sort of a punishment, and that's working very well. Sister and brother, it is also working very well in my family. So my husband and wife both sat and discussed with my children, and we have come to an understanding. So last 1 week it is working, and we intend to pursue this seriously, and I'm sure it's going to work. And thank you very much. And I think I also like to thank Brother Reddy, who actually organized it very well. A to Z, everything is on the dot. He took care of the speakers, he took care of the participants, he took care of the finance, he took care of everything. And before I finish, I'd like just to say one more thing. The best example to our children, the best example to our wife or husband, it is you, it's we. We are the best example. Children learn 80% from their parents. So if we set an example, they learned a lot of good habits. So with that, thank you very much. On behalf of council, once again, I'd like to thank. You're most welcome next year. We will organize you to go up north, down south. As you all know, brother.